The fight for equality and for diversity has been a long journey in society and in the fashion industry. Today, in 2020, we still have a long way to go.
The fashion world has long been criticized for its lack of diversity. It's also been plagued with accusations of racism, like Dolce & Gabbana's blundering 2018 ad campaign in China, and products resembling racist imagery at houses like Prada and Gucci in recent years. But fashion world leaders like Naomi Campbell, along with a new crop of designers and educators worldwide, are pushing for change. This is Access All. In 2018, Italian luxury fashion house Dolce & Gabbana launched an ad campaign in which a Chinese woman struggled to eat Western foods with chopsticks while a narrator offered lessons. The controversy was the #1 topic on the Twitter-like Weibo platform, with more than 120 million reads by mid-afternoon. Users slammed the Eating with Chopsticks campaign, some calling it patronizing. A subsequent fashion show in Shanghai was canceled and clumsy apologies issued to the world's second-largest economy. It's not the only such blunder in recent years. Egregious missteps include Prada's 2018 keychain of a monkey with inflated lips and Gucci's 2019 blackface high-neck sweater with a mouth cut out and trimmed in red. But brand leadership often plead ignorance in their defense.
You can't have it both ways. If you want to be global and reach these markets, you also need to understand some of the larger, at least, histories that's happening in some of those markets so that you don't offend a large group of people.
Many fashion houses have created high-level diversity and inclusion roles to combat such problems. Gucci, for instance, hired New York-born lawyer Renee Tirado last year as global head of diversity, equity, and inclusion, the first appointment of its kind in its almost 100-year history. But for some, fashion's exclusion problem goes much deeper. Just this month, editor of British Vogue, Ghanaian-born Edward Enninful, said on social media that he was racially profiled by a security guard upon entering his workplace. This event happened on the heels of the viral Vogue challenge, where Black models, stylists, and fashion photographers took to social media to post their own inclusive Vogue covers. Anna Wintour, regarded as one of the most influential figures in fashion, has apologized for hurtful and intolerant mistakes by the magazine during her 30-year tenure as Vogue's editor-in-chief. Enninful is British Vogue's first Black editor in the publication's 100-year history. Fashion educators like Jenkins, a former cultural inclusivity consultant for Gucci, tackle these problems in the classroom.
I decided to propose a class called Fashion and Race, which proposed this sort of framework for thinking about the intersections of dress and race when there is kind of profiling that happens when someone is dressed a certain way. What is the difference between Trayvon Martin, for instance, in a hoodie and Mark Zuckerberg in a hoodie?
Jenkins created the Fashion and Race database as a way of elevating the conversation via diverse fashion histories and resources.
There were definitely scholars talking about the intersections of fashion and race, but it was sort of marginalized. And many of the students would complain that their fashion history classes or fashion theory classes were, like so white, or just lacking a diverse perspective.
Model Naomi Campbell is hopeful that worldwide protests against racial injustice will reverberate inside the closed world of high fashion and beauty.
A powerful sense of urgency has been spoken out aloud around the world with the Black Lives Matter movement. This is a call for action that we are making, as we hope that this is a conversation that is starting now and will last as long as it is needed.